Now we're recording. Welcome.
It took a while to get here.
Yeah, it took a while for us.
But we made it.
Yeah. We've recorded like a video. We waited a week. But here we go. Welcome back, guys. This is episode 2 of HeadInTheClouds. We have a different setting for you guys today. We are somewhere in the city. You can figure it out for yourselves if you want to. I don't care. But do it if you like. What's going on today, Papa?
Wow. We just came from a movie.
Was it a movie? Or was it... Was it a coming attraction? It felt like just one very long trailer.
Hey.
It kind of fit because literally the trailers blended in too.
Literally.
Like, we didn't even know the movie started.
We didn't know when the movie started. I was hella confused the whole time.
Like, they were playing... What did they play before?
The fucking Avatar trailer.
They played the Avatar 3
Ashen
trailer. Avatar. No. Sorry. You'll make me... We could watch Avatar and I'll figure it out.
I wanted to watch the second one.
I feel like I'll probably like the second one
much
better. Because I don't like the first one. The first one, I don't know. I haven't watched it in a long time, though, but it makes me fall asleep. I'm sorry. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. They were playing the third movie of Avatar, and, what's it called? And then the movie just starts, and we're like...
Like, right after.
It just... Marvel Studios, and I'm like... Wait, and there's no logo anymore. I'm like, bro, what happened to the logo?
And it also literally just cut into the first scene.
Yeah.
No transition. Like, I thought it was truly another
trailer.
trailer.
I don't think I like that as a first scene.
Me neither. I was hella confused.
You know what this movie does? It like
We haven't even said what the movie is.
I feel like it's obvious.
Okay, well, we still gotta say it. We watched the Fantastic
talking
Four.
About Fantastic Four, yeah.
Okay, wait, no. So yeah, the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
The movie.
Spoilers ahead? Should we say? Spoiler alert?
No, they know what they're coming in for.
Spoiler alert. There's probably gonna be spoilers for this, but continue at your own risk. Wait, if we're already starting.
No, yeah. Oh yeah. This is featuring a mukbang too, guys.
We're not sponsored, but if y'all want to sponsor us, hit us up.
Do we want to have them as sponsors?
That would be so funny.
Right?
I'd do it just for the funny of it. Where that sauce at? It's in my bag. I got it. Okay, so we watched the Fantastic Four movie today. Literally a couple of hours ago, and it really didn't feel like a movie.
Yeah.
Or at least it felt like a Marvel movie, which is kind of sad because that's like the taste it leaves in your mouth now is it's a Marvel movie. Like, it's like, damn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because these people used to be peak.
Their peak was a peak.
They created the current age of superhero, but
they were the standard
they
for a
weren't
while.
meant to last fully. Superhero fatigue was always this like prophesized thing that was gonna happen, and we see it right in front of us now. It's happening. Oh, thank you. Cheers.
Don't get it.
Don't get it. Think it and think it.
Get the time?
10:34.
Thank you. Enjoy.
What did you say?
Yeah, he was asking for the time.
No, after that.
I don't know. I don't think I want to.
Anyways, so basically, this episode is going to be talking about superhero fatigue and what it is. We're gonna go in depth into Marvel. We're gonna talk about Fantastic Four. So just stick with us and enjoy. We'll just go right in. Did you have a chicken yet?
Mm-mm.
Cheers.
A chicken.
Okay. So, starting with the Fantastic Four, there was something off with this movie. And I feel like it was in the tone, it was in the acting, the delivery, it was in the writing, the structure of it. Like, it literally felt like this Fantastic Four fan service movie. But you know what it was missing? There was no heart to it.
Yeah. And I feel like they tried sometimes.
They forced the heart.
That's the problem. They
They were
tried,
like, this is...
but it was flatline.
And the thing is, you can't force that family dynamic. They weren't... Like, I wasn't convinced that this was a family. I was convinced that this was a group of actors put together to be in a movie.
And that just falls on to what I was telling you earlier, where I feel like a lot of these films nowadays, you can tell people are acting. You know what I'm saying? And it was really prominent in this movie for me personally.
No, it really was. That's why I was saying the only ones where I appreciated their performance a little more were The Thing and Human Torch.
Yeah.
And even there were some times where it was like kind of off.
But like The Thing, that's like unfair, because like they can manipulate, you know, how he acts.
It's all in the delivery too.
Yeah, but like, you know, everybody else has to like really
stale,
fully. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I guess it was a better part, but like it was still not anything.
And that's the thing. These are actors that are like good at what they do. So it's like,
it really comes down to like the writing.
The fact that you just force these four people together and say they're the perfect family. It doesn't. It's like, I don't know. It kind of like they were trying too hard to make the perfect Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
But they didn't really focus on what Fantastic Four was about. They just focused on the glitz and glam of it. So it was all visual, no substance. And even the visuals were kind of lacking.
Now, don't get me wrong. There were some cool parts. But it's like, even then you can see like the defects and the things that, you know, weren't polished enough. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if we're already lacking in other departments, can we at least perfect another one? You know what I'm saying?
This felt just like another Disney AI movie.
Clock it.
It just felt like all the writers are... I don't know. All the writers are bots. It might just be because this felt like such a robotic movie.
Yeah. Very still, one-dimensional. I don't know.
Okay. And we're gonna get into this because part of me is really like, I've been trying to think about it a lot lately. Like, what happened? Like, this is a question I've just been asking myself. And I think the thing is, nothing happened. They just... The thing about, Marvel stuff, I feel like they have a formula, right? It's very 1, 2, 3. You go about it every way. So it's like, you look at every movie, it's going to follow, like, the same structure. Which, end of the day, it's a superhero movie.
Yeah, it's given.
That's a given. That's okay. It doesn't have to be this, like, extraordinary piece of cinema. You know what I mean? But, but the simple fact that there's no, like, effort being put into it anymore. It's mainly focused on we need to make a movie so we can sell product. Consumerism, of course. But there's no... Sorry, I'm just being a big back right now. There's no thought and care put into these movies anymore. Like, the original stuff felt like they were made by fans, and this feels like they were made by people who work for fans.
No, for real. Get in there.
So, let's see. I think, when did it start going downhill?
We said that it started going downhill when the public was turning against them, and then they kind of.
I'm not talking about just the movie. I'm talking about the whole.
Oh yeah, I forgot. My bad.
We'll go more in depth into the movie.
I mean, I feel like the true first downfall after their peak was probably. Was it Doctor Strange? I feel like that was kind of their first like certified flop.
Doctor Strange was the first movie flop, I feel like.
Oh, you see, I'm not considering the shows. I'm realizing
exactly.
Now. But movie wise, I do think
the shows kind of put them in an awkward state.
Oh God.
What?
My mom's calling me.
Uh-oh.
Oh God. Anyways, love you, Mom.
Love you, Mama.
I said I wasn't gonna be home late. I have to be up early tomorrow.
It's okay. We'll be quick. This won't be a long video, guys.
These fries are so weirdly shaped when you look at them sometimes, but they're so good.
They are. I love the sauce.
But yeah, I think it was Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. So, because part of me wants to really say it goes back further to Falcon and Winter Soldier. Because that was the first. Because WandaVision was the first thing, right? And WandaVision was WandaVision.
No, WandaVision was good.
Yeah, WandaVision.
We love WandaVision.
Exactly. They were still riding on the high.
Yeah.
Then you had. How soon after was. No Way Home. That was 2021, right?
I believe so. I don't know how far ago it was though. In between.
I think WandaVision came out in January, and Spider-Man came out in December.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Because I remember that March, that was my freshman year.
Good
I had
times.
rewatched the entire MCU up until WandaVision. Because what was the episode where they did all the flashbacks?
Yeah, that's for a lot of episodes.
No, the main one where it went into her history and her life. That one made me want to go back to the old movies. So I just restarted. I watched all of it in a week. Literally all I did was class, and it was COVID time, so I was just indoors doing classes and watching the movies. But I think that gave me a full grasp of the narrative, which is why I have so much grasp when it comes to that. I also watch it in timeline order rather than.
As you should. I don't think I've watched the full thing in timeline order. I did it.
I don't think I could do it again.
And wherever I left off, I just kept watching the movies afterwards without needing to rewatch everything. Helicopter.
Take out your phone. We're gonna do that. I want to look through all these. Un momento, por favor.
Oh.
So, starting off with, should we just go into phase 4?
Type shit.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me go to Disney.
This is so bad. You want this last chicken?
You can have it.
Yeah, thank you. Running, 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 running.
Okay. This is this right here?
Okay. Yeah. Multiverse Saga. Okay. So, the Infinity Saga was like a different beast. You know, we got your Iron Mans, you got your Thors, you got your Hulk. One Hulk. You got, what else happened? Captain America's.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I forgot about this.
Oh yeah, Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so wait. Listen. We have. Yeah, I feel like when it comes to MCU, you really can't go wrong until this saga. So we have Iron Man. We're just gonna rate them, give you a quick rundown, and we're gonna do it in the order of how Disney Plus says it. This is according to Disney Plus, but I might make corrections along the timeline because this is also I might just get a little nerdy and shit. Okay, Iron Man.
We live. That's a W.
4 out of 5. 4 stars. We're doing 5 stars. 5 out of 5 stars.
Ranking is crazy. Okay.
Just real quick. First, off the top of your head. 4
Okay.
4 or 4.5 stars for Iron Man. What about you?
For Hulk?
For Iron Man.
4.
Okay. Hulk. Like a
3.5.
3. Yeah. Iron Man 2.
4.
I would say 4. No, I would say 3.5. Thor
5.
4. Captain America 3.
4.
Avengers
5.
4.5.
5s across the board.
I like Avengers. I just think it's I don't know. I like it. It's a classic at this point.
Of course.
Maybe I have to go back and appreciate the classics. Iron Man 3.
4. I would say.
I'd say a 3.7. Thor: The Dark World 3.
3.5.
Yeah, 3.5. Winter Soldier 5.
4.
That's personal bias, though. Guardians. You said you never watched. Damn, someone got a little bit. Sorry. I don't know if I can say that. Guardians of the Galaxy. I would say a 4. Avengers: Age of Ultron.
5.
Nah, 4. Ant-Man. What's Ant-Man?
3.
Let's give Ant-Man a 3, yeah. Civil War.
3.5.
I agree. 3.5. Doctor Strange.
3.
3. But it was better than Doctor Strange 2.
No, for sure.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
That's all you.
3.5. Batman Homecoming.
5.
4.5. Thor Ragnarok 5.
5.
Black Panther
5.
5. Okay, so phase 3, obviously.
This is peak.
This is peak Marvel, right?
Yep. 5. Infinity War.
Infinity War 5. Ant-Man and the Wasp 3.5.
3.5, I would say that too.
Captain
3.
Marvel
Sorry.
I give her a 3.5. Avengers Endgame, 5.
6 if I could.
Spider-Man Far From Home,
5.
safe like 4.5. Okay, so we went through the entire Infinity Saga, basically. And what you heard through all those movies? Wait, I'm gonna let this helicopter pass by. We have napkins. Let's check. Yeah, we do. You need a napkin? Now I need one. I like dip my finger in the thingy. Okay, so the thing about Marvel in its early days is that there were no expectations, right? Superhero movies were still kind of like a what would you call them?
Like movie theater. I mean,
they were like popcorn
superhero movies in the beginning.
Yeah.
For Marvel.
No, for in general. In general, because at this time we had a couple of superhero movies. DC had more than anything. We'll get into that later. We'll focus on Marvel. But, okay. With the beginnings of Marvel, what did Marvel have out at that point? They only did Spider-Man and X-Men and a couple Hulk movies, I feel like, at that point. And they had, like, really, like, low-budget stuff. That was, like, from the 60s.
Yeah.
But the thing about Marvel is that the comics went bankrupt in, like, the 90s. And that's why companies like Sony owned Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And Universal owned or owns? I think they owned. I don't think they have Hulk anymore.
They don't?
I don't think so, because they haven't used him in their own franchise or anything. So because of that, they, I think the rights revert back to Marvel. I need to fact check that. Let's fact check it right now. Which is
not your phone.
Alright. What's your password? Yeah. Nothing. I saw something. It's okay, it's gone. Anyways, so what do you call it? Let's see. Hulk rights.
This is gonna be the funniest thing to explain later.
I can't wait. Okay. So Universal had acquired the rights for Hulk in 1990, and then Sony got their rights to Spider-Man in 1999, but they only had the film and television rights, which is why Marvel themselves can still like have Spider-Man products and animated shows. Like Disney can do the animated shows because technically because those rights belong to Marvel and Disney, who owns Marvel. It says the distribution rights were supposed to go back in 2023, but nobody knows.
2023.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't be checking on Hulk like that.
Yeah. But that's
Is that shady?
They made Hulk kind of like...
That's kind of shady. Wait, no, I'm sorry.
Which is why him being in this next Spider-Man...
Is she Hulk? Anything related to him? Like, is she owned by...
No, so like those type of characters... That's why Marvel can use those characters. Because those characters aren't owned... It's the Hulk character that's owned by Universal. So Marvel could still use any more of those characters. Hence the reason why Captain America was basically a Hulk movie. Rather than... Or the fourth one, the last one. But yeah. basically, Marvel had been just starting out. They were trying. This is when Disney buys, or I don't think Disney bought Marvel yet. When did Disney buy Marvel? Let's see. When did Disney? I love the internet. August 31st, 2009. So they bought it after Iron Man came out.
Mm-hmm.
So so Marvel didn't have any real control over the movies, or like they didn't start producing them until the Avengers movie. The other ones, they were already being produced by Paramount. That's right. That's why the first few have the Paramount logo in them. But then Disney bought them for $4 billion. That's crazy. Okay. But basically, there was no expectations, right? You have a budding universe, this idea of it, and it's just all these characters being placed one at a time. So it's like you're growing with the characters. You get to see the development, trilogies. Like, they follows a system. It very obviously follows the studio structure system, but it follows this in a way that's more entertaining and building up to something. Like, you feel the buildup of different projects into each other and them feeding into each other. It's like anticipating, but also everything stands on its own individually, right? And that was what's so great about the Infinity Saga. You were able to watch movies on their own and not have to know everything else, right? You could watch, and there were some movies that obviously it's better to know it and better to kind of have the other movies in mind, but they were still good on their standalone, right? Until like Phase 3, but Phase 3 is a different case. Even Phase 3, like, you have Black Panther over here starting his own standalone, and he still stood the fuck alone. He said, yeah, let me show you what a real introduction is like. Yeah, my boy. But what's it called?
My boy.
But yeah, we have in Phase 1, or Infinity Saga in general, there's something being built up to, and I've said that like 5 times. We end off on Endgame, right? Which, this is Marvel at its peak. Like, we were talking about this the other day, and when you're at Endgame, like, that first weekend, everybody was screaming in the theaters. It was
that was a time to be living.
And it's
what a time.
Right before COVID too. So
I know.
This is when everybody was just crammed together in the theaters, and it was like a nice like sense of community.
Yo, everybody
like,
was
you had
balling.
the nerds, you had the fans, you had the
everybody was tuned in.
Casual people, you had people that were like, I remember I was in high school when the first trailer came out. We told our homeroom teacher that the Endgame trailer dropped, and he puts it on the TV for us. Or no, it was on the smart board. We watched that shit in the dawn. Like, I was trying to watch it on my phone, like, keep it on the low. But then they said we were watching it there. I was like, shit, okay. I was tuned in. But anyways, because it was Endgame. But
And boy, was it.
And I feel like that was where it ended. Or at least it should have ended. But I feel like what happened in the Multiverse Saga is that they did the right thing in following more obscure characters, right? Allowing themselves to kind of like rebuild with a new foundation. But what they did wrong was that they weren't really going in depth into these characters. They were kind of like touching surface level, which is why certain projects stand out a lot more than others. Like, and just for reference, he hasn't really seen a lot of the Phase 4 stuff, or beyond that. for that matter, because I think they just finished Phase 5 technically. Like, I think Fantastic Four was the end of Phase 5. But basically, I checked out after, like, Phase 5, and we'll go in depth which ones are which in a second. Starting at Phase 4, we have WandaVision, which, like we said before, was peak. 5 out of 5. I would give it 5 out of 5. Honestly, WandaVision was one of my favorite things that Marvel ever made. Like, I have one gripe with it, like, just the ending being a little tacky. But because it was Marvel, you know, like we said, they follow a structure.
Yeah.
And to go in depth in a little bit, that way we can kind of, like, keep on tracking this throughout. Here's the structure. You have a hero, and you put them in a situation that they've never been in before, right? Or they have to deal with something different. They have to deal with a villain who challenges them. They have to deal with stakes in their personal lives and their social well-being. They just have to deal with something, right? And you track them through that journey of it. It's that hero's journey, right? And it's basically the plot line of each of these movies, but it's done in a very generic way where you have your act one where it's like setting up, you introduce the character, you get the origins, or if it's already a sequel, you get caught up to what they were doing, like on their adventures, kind of like you're checking in a comic book, right? And then you get Act 2 is like kind of like this middle ground. It always gets bogged down a little bit in Act 2. The very rare ones are good in Act 2 because it's like you can keep the balance of the two acts. You no longer have that high of the introduction, and you need to carry it until the ending, right? So, and that's what Act 2 is for a lot of Marvel movies. They're trying to like build up the story, so that way by the time Act 3 comes, which is the final battle, you have this epic, chaotic final battle that tears cities apart and does crazy shit, right? Now, the thing where Marvel messes up is that every final battle has become the same.
Very repetitive.
It's basically two people fighting, and it could be random people sometimes at this point. Like, I remember the Secret Invasion show, they had, it was, you know, Talos. You remember Captain Marvel? What's it called? You had, the Skrull dude from Captain Marvel. His daughter, like the little girl, she was like the main character of the show. Like this, but her as an adult now. So she was, and like the end of the show involved her getting this super Skrull serum that they were trying to like hide from everybody, and like she has this fight with this other dude who was trying to become a super Skrull, and it's like this like really generic like battle where she just becomes all the superheroes at once. Like she's using everybody's superpowers. Like random people's, like she got Captain Marvel blast, she got like, I want to see if we can find a video real quick.
Would that be on YouTube?
Probably. I did it wrong still. Actually, we're literally on Disney Plus. Like, it was so good up until the 5th episode. Like, it was building up this narrative, and I was, like, actually intrigued. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here it is. We're not going to play the volume so we don't get copyright. This show had a lot of shit going on. It was like a lot of bullshit. Because you see, she got the whole arm fucking went Captain Marvel on his ass.
Okay.
And they're just like...
Looks kind of cool, though.
That's the thing. It looks cool.
I like this aerial fighting.
But leading up to this, there was no, like, real build-up. It was kind of like the Mantis shit.
That was weird.
Like, all of a sudden, they were able... Like, apparently... Oh, so the whole thing, too, was Nick Fury had collected samples of all of the Avengers' blood and left it in one little tube. And basically, that's what they were using to inject the Super Skrull Serum.
I'm dead.
And now you have this girl running around the Marvel Universe, nowhere to be found. This part. It gives, like, Mortal Kombat.
It did. It's giving, X-Ray.
Like, when they do the cutscenes.
Yeah.
And not that you're just like your father.
Oh, nah. Wow.
So yeah, that was that. So that wasn't the whole thing. But going back, what were we saying? Yeah, there's always a final battle, and not every final battle is enticing enough. They're not building up these villains enough. They're not going in depth into the heroes anymore. There's no character growth. There's no story happening. It's just kind of like mishmash. They're just like throwing a bunch of things to the page, to the screen, and seeing what sticks, right? And that's where you get like the Falcon and Winter Soldier. You had a good idea, right? But to be honest, I thought that should have been a movie. That shit was 4 hours too long, and there's 6 episodes, so you do the math. The gist of it was basically could have been part 1 of what Brave New World was, but like I feel like Brave New World wasn't even worth it now either. I haven't even seen Brave New World, but I just know everything that happens in it, and it's like there was no point to that film. The whole point of it was we're starting a new Avengers, and there's still no new Avengers. Well, there are new Avengers. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Thunderbolts. I knew they were the new Avengers even though I never saw it yet. We're going to watch it at some point. But like the fact that the marketing waited like 1 week before posting everywhere new Avengers, like that was crazy. I was like, okay, I guess...
No time wasted.
I was like, I guess you don't want me to watch this movie right now. But, yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'll give it like a 2.5, 3. I feel like it could have been so much better if it was more concise. And I feel like that was a big thing about a lot of the early Disney Plus shows. They didn't know where to go with their length, right?
It's a mosquito.
I know. Loki was... I like Loki. I'll give that one a 4.
I didn't finish it.
Yeah. I liked it because it actually started setting up the multiverse stuff, and it kind of like created like a new beginning for the multiverse saga. Like it allowed them to establish the whole idea of what the multiverse was further than what Endgame tapped into, and led directly from Endgame, but was its own story entirely. So it was kind of like, and there was so much more lore to it too. It felt very nice. Black Widow. Did you see Black Widow? No? I would give Black Widow like a 3 for the sole fact that it introduced us to Yelena. 11/11.
Nice.
We can cut it out if you want to.
I don't care.
What do you call it? Black Widow, I give it for a 3 for Yelena because I love Yelena. Yelena is... That's the only reason I still want to see Thunderbolts. I love you, Florence Pugh. It's Florence Pugh, right?
Yeah.
I have a role for you, Florence. Call me when you're ready. Or I'll call you. What do you call it? What if I only saw like the first season and like half of the second season? It was cute. Your average multiverse. What happens if this happens? Show. Shang-Chi, I would give it 3.5. Good origin story. I like the correction to the Mandarin because I was like, it was a silly part of Iron Man 3, but I wanted a real Mandarin. And like I liked him as the villain. Like they actually made a very good like villain hero connection. Like I was intrigued, right? What else happened? They had cool dragons too. Did you ever watch that one? That one had dragons. Eternals was, I would give it, honestly, I enjoyed Eternals personally. I'd give it like a 3.5. You never saw it, right? It was just very long.
You can imagine.
Like Eternals, it literally was eternal. Like I felt like I was watching it forever, but like I still enjoyed it. Then Harry Styles showed up, and I was like, oh, okay. And we haven't seen him since. We haven't seen any of them since. Yeah. And there's like a big rock dude coming out that apparently Captain America touched on, but I don't know if they really did. Hawkeye, I'd give it like a 3. I like Kate Bishop. You haven't seen any of these? Damn. Moon Knight, I'd give it 3. And there we have it. Doctor Strange. Multiverse of Madness. This movie made me so sad because I was so excited for this movie. And then I remember being in that theater being like, what did I just finish seeing? Like, I love the beginning of it. Like, they set it up so well, and then it just lost its narrative by the end.
Fucked it up.
My poor Wanda. Wanda, you need more justice done to you. They should have left you to be the villain for Avengers 5.
Yeah.
Because that would have been more badass. Like, imagine a movie where Wanda, like, just, like, loses her full shit and goes crazy on the Avengers, does, like, a no more... Instead of no more mutants, so, like, there's a comic where Wanda goes, like, just no more mutants, and they just disappear like that, all the mutants, and it creates this, like, alternate world. So I'm, like... They should have done that, but instead had her say no more Avengers. Okay, guys, sorry for the technical difficulty. My tripod died. But continuing where we were last on. What were we saying about Multiverse of Madness? Oh, okay. Imagine Avengers 5. Wanda just goes, no more Avengers. They all disappear, and they're in an ultimate world where, like kind of like how they did House of M, but it would be more like House of A. Like, they could have easily adapted that storyline and made it into an Avengers storyline, and it would have been so dope to see that play out throughout a movie, like the Avengers coming to realization and trying to, like, band back together in this different reality in order to take down Wanda. But, like, it could be kind of, like, posed like somebody else is in charge. Or Wanda could have honestly been in charge of this new reality, kind of like how she was in Multiverse of Madness, like this kind of evil, like almost like a full fruition of the arc she was going down in WandaVision. But instead of motivated by sadness, now she's motivated by anger.
I think I would have preferred that.
Right? And the original plan was to have her in the 5th movie, but I think the director of one of them was like, no, I want her in my film. And then I don't think he even ended up being on the film anymore.
I
don't know. Anyway. But the thing with that movie is that they did Wanda so dirty. And the ending fight didn't really fit the narrative. Like, we have Doctor Strange over here being a zombie, randomly just to save America and giving her a speech to help her beat Wanda. And, like, Wanda's over here crying about her kids, and I'm like, bro, isn't this the lesson she just learned from WandaVision? Like, did she just not go through all that character growth? And, like, I get it, she was corrupted by the book, but, like, I don't know. I feel like the route they went with it made her just look like this, like, insane...
Made her annoying.
Yeah. It just made her look like this insane mother, like, I just want my kids! And I'm like, damn, like, Wanda's so much more than that. Like, you'll just kind of, like, made her character... I don't know. Like, no wonder this girl was like, yeah, I'm gonna take a break from her for a while. She was like, yeah, y'all fucked up my character. I'm done for a second. Like, they were building up to something, and then it flatlined. And I think that's what happened with a lot of the Marvel properties lately.
Yeah.
They keep building up to stuff, and it keeps flatlining, rather than building up to something that's actually giving, like, creating hype. It's just trying to create the hype, but it's flatlining doing so. And going from there, we have Miss Marvel. I would say like a 3.5. I enjoyed it because it was a very high schooler vibe, and I like those type of shows. You never watched it, probably. Thor: Love and Thunder. What would you say? 3? I would say 3 too. I liked certain scenes, like the scenes where, like the black and white scene where they go and fight. I forget the villain's name. Was it Gore, the God Butcher, right? Yeah, when they fight him in, like, the nether realm, or I don't know what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. Like, that dark realm wherever he existed. That shit was dope. Like, the scene was so... Like, the graphics in that movie were actually really good compared to, like, Marvel lately. Oof. She-Hulk was cute. Give it Calm 3. I never saw Werewolf. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. 5. 4.55.
4.5.
4.5. Damn, I got a mosquito bite, like, right here. Yeah, Wakanda Forever has a place. That one was, like, a very... It's a heartbreaking movie. But they did it in such a touching way. It was a very nice tribute. Quantumania. That was when Marvel tanked. Because how are you gonna kill your major threat twice? Like, you kill... so they kill Kang, 2 different versions of Kang. So you're just showing that this dude is easily killed and easily defeated twice. Like, does that make sense?
So,
like, you're building up this big bad, and he's already died twice. Once by a Loki variant, and once by Ant-Man and ants. If Ant-Man can take him out, why are the Avengers worried about him? And yeah, you have the full council of Kangs, but obviously they're going to start a war against themselves, like you've been saying this whole time, and just kill each other. So they're just idiots in the first place, and it's a cycle that they just keep repeating, and the Avengers have no place in it. So at the end of the day, you kind of fucked yourselves in the narrative. Like, y'all didn't even think to create a cohesive narrative enough that makes it so this villain is formidable enough and that you want to follow it. You're just kind of like trying to create something out of nothing. And I feel like that's what it really was. They kept trying to create something out of nothing, and it wasn't nothing sticking anymore. I keep getting the password wrong. Now restarting. Okay. I think we're almost at the end. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That was a highlight of the past phase. I think phase 5 started with Quantumania. And then Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That one I would give it like a calm 4. I like that one. It wasn't one of like my favorites, but it was a touching... Like, I liked it as a trilogy ender. And I'm not a big fan of number 3 movies, personally. The second movie will always be my favorite, usually. Like, if it's a trilogy, usually it's the second. Catching Fire, Shrek 2, Puss in Boots 2. There was no trilogy, but you know what I mean. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Bugs?
It's a lot.
Yeah. We'll wrap it up, because I know you gotta go too. 1, 2, 3. Secret Invasion, ass, 2 out of 5. Not even 1 out of 5. No, I'll give it 2 out of 5 because I was actually invested in the show and I was having so much hope. And then the last episode kind of like tanked for me, and I was like, damn. And then didn't even have any weight in the Marvels movie like I thought it would. Like, there was no connection whatsoever, which that's another thing about this phase. They were trying to let these characters stand on their own, but then they lost what made it so good in the first place, the connectivity between these different projects and different circumstances. Like, it's like one implications in one movie would have an effect in the other, and it would create the standard and create the world of the next film. That's why it was so expansive in this universe. You were able to see this whole thing expanding, and now it's kind of like these self-contained mini episodes of worlds that have no relation or correlation to each other, building up to some random narrative that nobody really has an idea of what's going on. And I feel like that sums it up a little bit, Loki. But with the Marvels, I enjoyed the Marvels personally. It was your standard like SuperCinema flick. Giving one a 3. Echo I never saw. I only saw the first episode. Deadpool and Wolverine, I would give it 3.5. I feel like the ending kind of baited. Also, instead of like we've been talking about, the ending's always bait. It's like they want to give up this big ending. Like, what happened at the end of that one? His shirt just ripped off. That's all that happened. And they defeated the Professor X's daughter. What was her name? Cassandra Nova. Yeah,
That's crazy.
What do you call it?
It just sparked the memory.
And then when she like zapped the Human Torch too. Ugh, that was like a part where I was like, ooh. Like, I was intrigued, and I loved the idea of that this was Charles X's long-lost sister. It was jokes. That's the thing. It was just pure jokes, and I was like, you could have made this pure jokes, but also could have made it good storytelling. Like, I feel like they missed the mark on that part. Like, bro, you know what I was hoping? I was so hoping that Wolverine was going to be the same Wolverine from X-Men The Last Stand. Where it's like he lost all his people at this point and everybody's dead. Because what I can't remember though is that The Last Stand exists in the same timeline as Days of Future Past. So wasn't that the same Wolverine that goes back in time and that he becomes the Logan? I don't know. I don't know at this point. The X-Men is a whole other franchise that I don't even want to get into. We'll just wait till the new one butchers them again, because it's Marvel, so the Mutant Saga, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I felt like the Wolverine and Deadpool dynamic were great though. I love that, and the villain was great. I just feel like they defeated her too, like, it's too, what's the word? It's too easy. Like, it's like you build up these villains to be so big bads, but there's no, like, real, like, character weight to them, and then it gets too easy to be defeated that you're not even really sympathizing with the villain or, like, feeling for the hero who just won. Like, you're, like, cheated out of a real battle between the two. Like, biggest complaint, why was Professor X not in Deadpool and Wolverine? Like, why was he only in Multiverse of Madness to be killed in 2 seconds?
Because Marvel doesn't know what they're doing.
Yes, they don't anymore.
This is the bottom line of this video.
Bottom line. I promise you guys, this is not a hate on Marvel video. This is I have a love for just superheroes in general. That's like, come on guys, let's get this right. Also, I've since this is technically not a part of the Multiverse Saga, or I guess Disney Plus doesn't have it, but we skipped over No Way Home, which was probably the biggest, like, that was like Endgame still peaking, so No Way Home was like the top of that mountain peak, and then it came crashing down. So No Way Home, 5 out of 5.
Definitely.
Like, That movie is so, like, it's perfectly, like, even the final battle, it's not too cheesy and cheated. Like, you feel worth it. Like, the whole movie feels like you worth building up to this climactic point. There was even, the other day we were watching we half watched Spider-Man 3, the one with Venom and Tobey Maguire. What was the part that we were like, it was kind of like it showed the same thing in a different movie? Because we had watched The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the one with Electro, the other day, and there was something similar in the two. What did we see? You remember?
I don't recall.
Oh my gosh. We'll probably talk about it in the Spider-Man videos. We're gonna rewatch all the Spider-Man videos and connect them all and talk about that. Yeah. Okay, then we have Agatha All Along. I never got to watch it, but I was so excited for that one. And, like, I think by then my Marvel fatigue kind of came in, and I was kind of tired of it. Like, I was, like, not enjoying anything anymore. So I haven't seen anything since. And I watched the Spider-Man animated show, which was chill. It was cute. Honestly, the story was nice. Never got to watch Daredevil, but I'm kind of intrigued, but then we said Brave New World. I kind of know the plot at this point. Eyes of Wakanda. Okay, it might be that time to go. Yeah, because Ironheart is the last thing on here, and even Ironheart I didn't watch, but I wasn't really interested, but I was kind of intrigued. But with how Marvel has been, it's like they don't make me intrigued enough to watch these characters because you're not properly developing them. You're giving, like, facades of them almost, whereas the other characters, you gave them years to develop. Captain America had an 11-year arc. Like, Iron Man Tony Stark had, like, a 11-year arc. How many years? No, Captain America was a 9-year arc, I think. Iron Man had a whole 11-year arc. Like, you have these big build-ups to these characters, and that takes us back to Fantastic Four today, where we're watching this movie, and it's like it feels like you're trying to present us a version of Fantastic Four that has always been wanted, and it's a facade of it. It's because that version of it was never, like, that version could exist, and it does exist now, but it's like, because it exists,
does it exist?
It loses the heart of what it was supposed to be. It's that they were trying too hard to make it exist, that it doesn't have that same potential. Like, I feel like in watching this movie, there were so many times where I was like, and go watch it for yourselves, like, you make your own opinions, make your own judgments. Actually, don't judge, just openly opinion, whatever. Remember, facts over opinions, but opinions is how you voice your truth. But watching this movie, it felt like, one, I love Pedro Pascal as an actor. He was not meant for this role. The fact that they killed John Krasinski off for some cheap thrill for Multiverse of Madness, and that invalidated him to play it, Mr. Fantastic in an actual Fantastic Four movie. Like, what in the timeline? What in the multiverse? Then you have all these characters that are kind of like trying too hard to play the roles that they're assigned. It doesn't, and it feels like a caricature of those roles. It doesn't even feel like a real portrayal of them. They're not, like, you can, like you said it, it's like they could sense, you could feel like they were acting, right? And I don't know, something, the whole movie was off. It just felt like very stale, like there was a very bland, the coloring was kind of like such a, like,
yeah, not a good color rating.
Yeah, it was only focused on this, like, bland beige and orange and yellow. And then
even the sound, like you said.
Yeah, the sound was so terrible. Like, there was some dialogue you could barely hear. Like, I'm like, Disney, what are you doing, guys? Like, y'all are supposed to, like, that's how you can see and tell when somebody is, like, not putting in any effort anymore. They're just trying to chunk out stuff for pieces of change. That's why, and we're going to go into this in another video, all the live action remakes are just kind of, like, ass right now, because it's, like, they're trying so hard to make something of worth, but you can't try to make something of worth. You have to just make it, and the worth comes from it, comes from the heart of it, and there's no heart to these things, right? And even things like, I was excited to see Silver Surfer because I love Silver Surfer. I find Silver Surfer so dope. And it feels like we got cheated of a Silver Surfer.
Definitely.
Like, there was barely any Silver Surfer in this. And not even just that, it was, like, portrayed to the bare minimum.
Yeah, even her big moment was so minute.
Like, doesn't even speak in her... Okay, big spoiler alert. But, like, doesn't even speak in her, like, big, like, final sacrifice. Like, just kind of, like, comes in and saves the day and dips and dies. Like, what is that? And then you have, what do you call it? Sue Storm over here about to die. And, well, she dies, and the baby goes and just, like, brings her back to life, which I kind of expected. But the way they did it is just so, like, cheesy. Like, you just see the hand move, and it's like, that's how they do it in everything now. And it's like, come on, guys. We've seen this before millions of times. It's okay to repeat things, yes, but you can't just put a bunch of things together and make it into some repetitive cycle of blah. You know what I mean? That's all I could say, blah. Like, it's just like, you're taking and recycling all these different aspects of what a superhero movie is, taking, like, and, like, you're trying to adapt it into this new light, and with these characters that haven't been well received in the past in film. Like, even though I enjoyed the original Fantastic Four, they're very comic booky and cheesy, even though if they're, like, and they feel like Fantastic Four movies. We won't talk about that 2015 one. That one doesn't exist in my head. Michael B. Jordan, though, was a fun casting idea, but I don't think he fits for Johnny. Michael B. Jordan is very, like, stoic and serious. Johnny's playful and arrogant, and I feel like he only gave us surface level. They all gave us surface level, and I feel like this movie was even more surface level than that movie. But that movie was trying to be deep in surface level. This one was trying to have heart in surface level. And it was, like, trying to wear its heart on its sleeve, but it was just empty. And I feel like that was the biggest misstep. It was like, I'm going in here expecting a movie about family, about people bonding together. And what I got was a movie about family, but it was like, there was no real bond between them.
It wasn't even believable.
It wasn't believable that they were a family. You have this baby who's basically half CGI'd, and you could tell it's CGI'd. You have everything looking CGI'd. You have a villain that you hear him speak 2 times, and, like, you try to make it... People be talking that loud. Y'all, something's going on lately with the world. Y'all heard that? This is why men need to rock. Not us, though. We're a different breed. Not those men. Ugh. Anyways, so, and I'm glad I got that on audio too. That was funny. What were we saying?
I forgot.
About Fantastic Four.
Oh, the villain only spoke twice.
Yeah, you only had a villain speaking twice. You have, and, like, he's obviously a menacing threat, but it's, like, not even convincing enough. Because it's the same thing that happened with Kang, where it's like you're just, like, killing off this big bad threat real quickly and offing him, and making it very, like, I guess it just feels very... It feels heartless at the end of the day. It just feels very, like, blind to what it could have been. And I don't know if I'm being too harsh on it, but...
No, it's deserved.
You think it's deserved?
I think so.
Because honestly, I came out of that movie like, I don't really care for what I... Like, even that... Okay,
I don't even remember half of it.
Like, I rate it like a 2 out of 5. Maybe 3 out of 5. 2.5 out of 5. Because I barely remember what I watched now. Because it wasn't even that memorable. There was one scene I remember. And it was because it was literally like this really dope black hole scene. The most convincing scene of the film. You have this whole storyline about how all the people hate the Fantastic Four all of a sudden, even though they were all going crazy and loving them and being like, you're basically our family too. And then all of a sudden they hated them because they didn't want to give up their own child. They didn't want to give up their child to the evil big bad villain. And all the people turned on them. Like, ain't that crazy? Then you have... What do you call it? And in one moment, you have this girl making they were staring at us all. In one moment, you have Sue making the speech all of a sudden, like, oh, yeah, this is my child. You would do the same thing, but we're going to protect you. And it's so, like, forced. Like, it's no, like we said, not convincing. And I'm like... And then all of a sudden, all the people turn back and it's like that again. And I was like, for a second, I was like, this is actually like an interesting take. And then I was like, oh no, it's a cheesy ploy. There we go again.
Just for nothing.
Exactly, and that's what it all felt like, just for nothing. Like, this felt like just one big coming attraction to Avengers Doomsday. Because the end credit scene, Doomsday's there, which is crazy because there was no hinting except for one empty chair, I think, at the beginning, which I don't even know for sure if that was actually the place he's from. I think it was, but because I don't think they would have showed the empty chair for no reason, but I need to double check. But yeah, that movie was just, it felt like nothing. No flavor, no substance, lacking all of it.
All of it.
We need we need more superhero movies that are good. We need superhero movies that are actually entertaining and that actually care about the story and the audience's intelligence and aren't just trying to lie to audiences to provide a narrative to continue to boost sales. You know what I mean?
For real.
Like, I'm scared for the coming state of MCU stuff because it's all the same thing at this point, and it's all this mishmash of, like, different characters being thrown together. Like, why is the Hulk gonna be in Spider-Man? Possibly the villain. Like, did Hulk and Spider-Man ever really interact either? Except for, like, maybe him being flung, like, once or twice, but I don't even remember at this point. But, like, why would Spider-Man be facing against the Hulk? Like, I know it's happened before, but it's, like, such a... And then Punisher there, too. It's like they're just putting random stuff together. But that's for another video. So is our... Because we gotta get going, but we'll save DC for another video because we're gonna talk about how Superman is exactly what Marvel should be doing. Because Superman was a whole different breed of SuperCinema, but at the same time it stuck to its roots, and I feel like that's why I enjoyed it so much and why people are enjoying it so much. And if you would have seen the Regal thing today when we looked on the app, saw how empty that theater was for Fantastic Four, although it kind of filled up,
not really.
but not too much so, but I like mostly in the back, but like compared to our Superman screening where literally it was packed to the brim, like there was no extra seats, like you can see why one is selling tickets and one isn't. Even if one says they are and one isn't. But we'll save that for another time. Thank you for watching us rant about and be nerds about Marvel for an hour. Just wait till we do it for another hour on DC, and that's one's probably going to be more me because or I'll try to get him caught up before we do that. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, repost, share, find me on the interwebs, find us on the interwebs. A lot coming soon. Stay tuned. Any closing words before we... No?
Oh, really? Oh.
Make better movies.
Please.
Care about your movies.
Please.
Because if you don't care about your movies, your audience won't.
Please.
That's all I have to say.
Shout out to Sabrina.
Hey, wait, like Carpenter?
Yes.
Yeah, she makes good music videos. I love music video cinema.
Me too.
We'll talk about that too in another video. Bye, yeah.